Hey guys, welcome to Figure Friday, and today we're doing, what are we doing today? Hey guys, welcome to Figure Friday. I just wanted to go over the art supplies I'm using. So I'm using the smooth newsprint as pretty much almost always. It's like 90% of the videos I do use the smooth type of the newsprint. And this one's made by Pro Art. It doesn't matter what you get. Just as long as it's smooth newsprint, and it works really good with the Conte, the 1710B, and of course the Kneaded Eraser. So I started off this figure using the Reilly rhythms, the Reilly method for breaking down the wireframe of the figure, and I've been trying to get my figures to be more or less tight, so more flowy, more weight distribution showing. So my figures tend to be pretty tight looking compared to the actual pose, and I still think this one's a little tight, but I'm getting there. I'm really trying to move into that more gesture flow. So I think I just need to relax more when I do drawings, and I might try to go bigger next time, and I think that might help. But anyway, so I started off with the Reilly rhythms and then built up the mother forms, basically how I've been doing it, and then on the other videos. And then because she's got clothes on, so I started doing a little bit of the drapery, and that was really fun. That was like very expressive, and that was like a nice break from the normal. I'll get back on the in the comment section, and you can hit me up there or Instagram, or support me on Patreon if you can. I think I'm searchable now, so I resolved that issue with being adult content, and then they won't allow you to be searched on their platform. So they told me that I'm searchable now, but I haven't double checked. Draw along if you can. It's a really good exercise, and I tried to go through like step by step all the way from the beginning to the end, and in a probably a more methodical way than you normally would draw. But I just wanted to show like each step. Some of those initial lines, after a while you won't even draw them, but you'll think about it and track your hand over it. So it's a really good method, and it gets you drawing faster and faster. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you guys. Bye. Okay, so let's start off with the head shape, the overall head shape. Make a little oval. Bottom of the chin, about right there. And then the cross of the face, the center line, and then our brow ridge, about. And bottom of the nose, about right there. Hairline. Maybe a cheek rhythm right here. And now I'm going to locate the pit of the neck, which is about right here. And if we take this rhythm from the sternocleidomastoid muscle, something like that, and it comes around from behind the ear, if we can see the ear, and it comes down to the sternum, pretty much the pit of the neck. So it's a really good landmark because we're going to use that for the center line of the entire pose pretty much. And then let's get the sides of the neck, and let's go ahead and do the sweep of the shoulders. So now I'm going to locate certain things like the belly button, the crotch, and things like that, but I can use the head to help. So I'm going to use the top of the head to the chin as a unit of measurement. So I'm going to, with my pencil and thumb, I'm going to hold it up in front of me like this, and my thumb is at the chin, tip of the pencil is at the top of the head. Now I have the measurement of one head. Then I go down to the chin and I count down. So the 2 is right on that circle in her top between her breast. And then 3 is almost the belly button. It's right about the belly button. Maybe a little bit lower. And then 4 is the crotch. 5, 6, 7. She's 7.5 to the floor from the top of her head. So we take the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then about a half. So next I'm going to use my pencil, and right at the crotch I'm going to hold it straight up. I'm going to find out where the head is in relationship to the crotch on that vertical line. And it's right about here, right where the forehead is. So if I come straight down, the crotch is, from what I can see, it's a little bit above the 4th mark right here. So I'm going to place the crotch right there. So now I have the pit of the neck and I have the crotch, and we have a nice rhythm for the center of the body. Okay, and now let's go up to the shoulders and just use little ovals to indicate that shoulder area. And then from here, I'm going to pull another line to help guide us in the wireframe of the upper body. And then from here, you can't see the leg because it's under the skirt, but it's probably at this angle, and then like so. Probably something like that. I'll keep it really light because it's going to be under the skirt and won't be able to see it. So now for the next rhythm lines in the upper torso, we start on the outside edge of the neck, and then we flow across the hips. Just bring it all the way through, and then the same on the other side. And like so. And when you get really good at doing this method, you won't even draw them hardly. They're more like tracing. Not tracing, they're like, I think it's called ghosting, where you don't draw, but your hand is doing the motion, but there's no mark. It's just following the feel of it until you get to like a landmark. So you might go boom here, then boom there. So when you get good at it, you probably won't even put down these lines. So let's look at the shape of this leg. So I'm going to find the angle holding my pencil up to the model in front of me or the image. Checking my angles. And then the top of the leg. Let me check that angle. And they're really thin compared to what they will be, but that's because it's the wireframe right now. And let's see, so now we got a good gesture going, and hopefully you can see that on camera because it's really, really light. I don't want to go too dark, but let's go into the arms. So a couple of things. So let's look for the overall sweep of the arm, starting with this one. And I want to notice certain things about, like, I look for landmarks. So like the elbow, like the inside corner of the elbow where it turns. I'm looking how that relates to the top of the head. And I think it's about right there. And then let's do this other arm, which is behind her head, kind of. And in relationship to her head, the elbow looks to be about right there. The inside corner, or the inside joint of the arm. And then let's come up over here. And then over here. Let me clean this up a little bit. Let's see, let's try to get, there we go. And let's see, the palm of the hand comes here, This one is over there. And this finger overlaps this one. And then we have the thumb. I'll come back to this portion in a second. So let's go back down and let's place in the rib cage of the upper torso. And so we said the belly button was about the 3rd mark. And if I look at the pose in front of me, I think I need to adjust. Let me do a vertical line from the belly button through the face, and it comes down right through here. So yeah, I need to move this line over and put the belly button right about there. Man, it's so dry in here. I can't get away from clearing my throat, so sorry guys. So let's look for the hips in relationship to the belly button. And it's on an angle above it, like so. And we have the shoulders here, and then we have the arms at this angle. So we have this really cool dynamic pose. So let's do that, the rib cage. Nice oval. And let's come over here. See, oh, that's the center. The 2 was, this is the 2nd mark coming down. And that was about where the center of her top was. So let's change that. Let's move that down just a touch. So that's about right there. So that's a good landmark. Let's just hold on to that for now. And I think I want to bring this arm over. And let me place in a little bit of that lat on this side. And this side of the body is the stretching side. This side has more of a pinch. It's not extreme, but it's definitely there. So this comes over, and then we come down here, and we hit that hip right here. And the same over here. And then her skirt is somewhere on this rhythm. And then let's go ahead, excuse me, let's work on this leg a little bit. So if we can see through the skirt, we would see the far side of the glute on the other side, and then the leg would start there. And the knee would be above the halfway mark. Let's see, let's get the halfway mark from the foot to the crotch is about right here. That's the halfway mark, but the knee sits above it. So then we can find this knee, which would be about right here. And to find the length of her foot, it's about the length of the face, maybe a little bit more. So coming over here, looks like we would be something like this. So that's the bottom of her foot. And so let's build up the anatomy a little bit on this leg. So we kind of see how it was like a wireframe at first, and now it's going to be more of a realistic look. So you got this muscle right here is relaxed. Got the kneecap right here. tibialis anterior. And the pes anserinus comes over, kind of like that. This looks too flexed. Let's see, now the calf muscle comes out and it's flexed, comes over. Okay, something like that. I made it a little bit more muscular. Let me thin it out just a little bit. Gave her like a heroic leg. Heroic lower leg. Let's see, but that's okay. So I didn't really like that shape. Let's see. Let me slow down for a second and just look at this knee. There we go. Then this muscle, and I'll come in and do more detail. So that's enough for right now on this leg. Let's go back to the upper body, and let's give some attention to the upper body. Actually, let's go over here to this part. So her skirt comes out, and then it wraps around her hip, and then it falls. And we can kind of show some of that drapery a little bit. Okay, and then, so I'm looking at the width of her waist, and I brought it in too much. I made it too much of an hourglass, and it's kind of bugging me a little bit. So let's try to get that a little bit closer. It's a really delicate transition. And you just gotta kind of look at it and make your guesses and then adjust as you go. Well, let's go ahead and place. Since I'm here, I'm in the neighborhood, let me finish the overall shape of this skirt. Okay, I'll do some more later maybe, but you get the gist of that. Let me erase some of this rhythm underneath. And let's go back up here, and then let's thicken her up a little bit. I was making her waist way too narrow. So her arm comes down here. Then we have this lat that comes over. And now I'm going to use this landmark for the center of her top, and then use that to locate the breast rhythms. And I go to the pit of the neck, come down, and sweep around. And then you go to the other side. More like that. You can also do this rhythm across the top if you like. Kind of, you're trying to link everything up together, make sure they look like they belong on the same like form that's wrapping around. So now I can come in. Actually, it already made kind of like that shape I needed anyway for the straps. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to bring this up just a little bit. make that, actually I'll just make that bigger. And then the straps kind of follow that rhythm that we just did, so that's helpful. And then this comes down, just wraps around, and you can see a little bit of this far side material wrapping around the rib cage on that side. And I think what I need to do is kind of bring this over more. I think I need to bring this arm this way a lot more, actually. So let's get more rib cage on this side, and then the lat right here, and then the arm, and then I can come in, make my adjustments for the rest of it. So that feels better. Okay, so let me fix that. A little too round on the deltoid. It's more flat, but curves, but still flat. Okay. So we got the lat here, got the side of the rib cage, smooths over into the hip, and let's see, and then this wraps around, then under, and this comes up, then the strap comes over. And there's so much detail in her costume. It's really pretty. It's very ornate. So I'm not doing that today. that would take me like an extra couple of hours to hit everything on that. The belly button. Let's see. Let's get this overall shape. So that looks good. So I'm liking the thickness of her torso. It's starting to look better. The rhythm looks good. It feels like it's sitting. Like I wanted it to look like it had weight coming down and then juxtaposing or offset. I don't know how to explain it. I wanted to be able to see the shifting weight in the figure, because the last few weeks, and most times when I do figures, they look really stiff. So I'm trying to loosen up and try to get the feel of the pose more. So, and that was like some of the critiques that you guys gave me in the comments, and I really appreciate it. So I've been working on that. Let's see. Okay, what's next? Let's go in the arms and finish the arms. And let's see. So on this side, let's see. I think what would help if I kind of take some of the information out and look at the anatomy. Maybe the clavicle comes down. This arm is looking really thin. And then her pec muscle, it's about right here. And then okay, I'm about to get into shadow mapping, but let's hold off on that. And we'll save that for last. Let's get everything that we can locked in. So much of drawing is being patient. It's really hard for me to be patient sometimes, most of the time. Let's see, her pec over here, deltoid wraps around. Let's see, and her forearm. I might bring that down even more. I feel like this forearm needs to be longer. More like here. I'm starting to tighten up. I can feel it. I need to loosen up and just relax. Nobody's watching. It's just a figure of a very, very pretty girl. Don't worry about it. Nobody's watching. Let's see, so the hip, okay. All right, so that's, gotta fix that too. There's so much to a figure, oh my gosh, like so much to look at and judge and try to like isolate and replicate. Okay, so let me just look at this overall. It's looking okay, it's not terrible. So I'm gonna just finish the overall hair shape that she has here. I might even just kind of have fun with the hairstyle. And then this comes down, this overlaps. And then I can erase some of that information to show that hair overlapping. Let's see, how do I want to do that? Let's see, I like the hair coming out, kind of like the Farrah Fawcett back in the 70s. I still want to keep the face, it's really simple. Hairline, brow, nose, chin. And then the hair kind of sweeps down. Okay. All right, that was fun. So, okay, where should we go now? Hands, I'll just keep it like this, just blocky. Maybe a little thumb here, no big deal. I don't know, I think she's looking pretty much done. Let me work on the skirt a little bit. I haven't done a lot of, I haven't done any tutorials on drapery. In fact, I need to like study that. I should probably learn. I know there's like, I think 7, I saw, was it 7 different folds? I think that's what I saw taught over at different art schools. So I could probably definitely use that. See, there's a coin belt right here along this rhythm. So what if I made some of the coins, just make them different sizes. I don't know, I don't really like that. But I already did it, so. And then the belt. And I'm going to make this line hard right here, and this one's going to break up right on her hip because the light is hitting the hip right there, so I'm just going to break that line, break that edge. And oh yeah, the rib cage. Let's go into shadow mapping. So, all right, yeah, let's do that. So my pencil's looking good, it's still kind of sharp. So let's start with the breast over here. And I'm using the side of the pencil and just making kind of a feathery mark with the pencil for the shadow, the form shadow, like just the overall. So, oh yeah, right here there's a cast shadow. This is a good example of the different shadow shapes. So over the breast, it's a very soft form. So the shadow is going to be very wide and blurry, basically. And then the cast shadow, like right here underneath the top, is very crisp and hard. So that edge is much harder. And then here we have a rib. It's not as hard as a cast shadow, but it's harder than the form shadow on the breast. So there's like different variations of our different thicknesses and sharpness of the shadows. So you kind of want to try to identify if it's a soft, thick shadow, or if it's a cast shadow, it's going to be very crisp. So like right here, I might make it pretty crisp. And then as it comes up and around the soft belly, it's going to thicken up and get blurry. But then when it hits that bone again on the ribs, it's going to sharpen up. And then it gets really sharp on this cast shadow. And let's see, and then the belly button. Now we can erase some of these rhythm lines that we put in before to kind of clean it up. I'll leave these rhythms in the chest and upper and around the neck and stuff. Let's go down into the leg. So we see a cast shadow right here, but I'm going to make it curve around the leg. And then it's going to come down here and then wrap a little bit more curve here. So whenever you can, this is how it was taught to me, whenever you can, try to make something look like it's like a form is wrapping around. Like give a form like a cylinder, like the leg, a chance to look like it's three-dimensional and wrapping around. So cast shadows that may be not as curvy, you can fake it and make them a little bit more curvy than they actually are, and you can get that effect that you want of the form wrapping around. It's kind of cheating, and it's a good way to cheat. So let's come down here on the leg. It's like manipulation. Whatever it takes to make the drawing look good, you know. Let's see. So this comes down. Let's get our ankle in over here under the foot. Some creases. What else? Maybe soften this up right here. I want this to look like it's, oh, that's a little too hard. Started to go into shading almost there. And what else? What else? Anything else? Where's the knee? We got the knee right here. So there's the drapery comes like that. Maybe we can get like a hint of that leg. So I hope that made sense. Kind of used, well, we used the Reilly rhythm mostly. That's pretty much it, actually. So a lot of Reilly and just knowing some of the anatomy. Oh, and starting off with counting the heads. A lot of people hate it and they think it's like too methodical. You don't need to do that after a while. Like for me, I hated doing it, and but my figures weren't like the right size. So I mean, I would run the legs off the page or try to like shrink the legs to fit on the page. It was just terrible. It was a nightmare. So I started counting the heads, and then what happens is after a while, you're like, oh, okay, you draw the head this size, you kind of get a sense of how long the pose is going to be. If you made the head this big, then you get a sense of how long the pose will be and how it'll fit on the page. So it's just a practice. So if you're not good at it yet, don't worry about it. Just count the heads, take the extra 30 seconds, measure the, looking in front of you, and then counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and finding the feet. It'll save you a world of pain. And you'll get better at it. So I think that's it, guys. Well, let's do the shadow mapping on the arm, and let's finish that off. And not much over here. And this arm's looking a little thin. I might even have this arm a little too short. It's kind of going behind her, so maybe it's a little bit of a foreshortening event going on. So if I show this wrapping around and then coming here with a form shadow, I might get away with it. I don't know, we'll see. I'll find out in the comments. That's always the tail. Let's see. Then wrist. Okay, let's put a little eyelash. Okay. Is that it? I think so, guys. One more look. So I like how I broke that line because it shows the light hitting this side. You can see the shadows on this side. Cast shadow there. Oh, the shadow right here. Hello, another cast shadow. Bam, right there. Nice. And then that goes into that form shadow, and then right into the pec. And see how this wraps around. So we get to showcase how this torso, this part of the body, this shoulder joint is wrapping around. Let me get these straps in. Let me make sure it looks like she has a top on so it doesn't get demonetized again. I'm so tired of that. Let's see. Cast shadow underneath the outfit. Hello. Okay. All right, let's call it. Figure Friday. Thanks guys for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Draw along if you can and let me know how it goes. You can find me on Patreon. You can find me here. I'll start hitting the comments more on YouTube. I've just been really busy this last week. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get ready for a live streaming, so I got that set up. I'm really excited about it. I'm not sure exactly what days I'm going to live stream, and I'm going to try it and see how it goes. And yeah, so let me fix this foot. That looks weird. I put the bump a little high. It needs to come down about right there. Okay. I think I made her foot a little too big, maybe. Yeah, probably. But that's okay. We're all family. Nobody's gonna crucify me for that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Draw along with me. Support me on Patreon if you can. And I got a lot of cool stuff happening over there. We have the Wake and Draw forum, and got a couple of challenges on there from some of the folks who are Patreons, and they set that up for everybody. And it's a really cool community, kind of growing and getting built up. So hope to see you there. Thanks, guys. Bye.